So what is going on in our country? And why are so few people getting the help they need? Joining us to break it all down is Army veteran and CrossFit gym owner Dale King. Good to have you back, Dale. The upcoming documentary Small Town Strong follows his story as he returns home from Iraq only to find his hometown destroyed by fentanyl. And also joining us is journalist and best-selling author of the book-turned-Hulu miniseries Dopesick, Beth Macy. Her latest book, Raising Lazarus, explores whether the U.S. will ever overcome the opioid epidemic. Great to have you both with us tonight. Beth, 2/3 of Americans are impacted by addiction. Does that number surprise you?
It doesn't. I think I said in Raising Lazarus when I was completing it about 2 years ago that the number at the time was 1/3. So to hop to 2/3 isn't really that big a surprise, considering that the fentanyl has gotten more deadly and we haven't really dealt with opioid use disorder. We still have just 13% of folks able to access evidence-based treatment for opioid use disorder. So and we also have a rising increase in unintended overdoses. 1,000 teenagers died the last time that was counted. That was a record. And those were thought not to be people who were addicted, but rather kids who were experimenting. And one pill these days can really kill.
Yeah, it really can. Dale, were you at all surprised? I was surprised in these two polls, these two out this week, that drinking, binge drinking for middle-aged people, like 35 to 50, is the highest ever recorded. And that even though opioids, and we're going to talk about that and go deeper on that in a second, but that alcohol was the single most common substance that was being abused right now. Does that surprise you?
Unfortunately not. If you go back to the pandemic, what was everyone doing? Especially those first 2 to 3 weeks. It's the most common because it's the most accessible. So it's never really gone anywhere. But when you just start shutting people in and not allowing them to have access to resources to other people and coping mechanisms, your 7-Eleven's always open 24 hours a day, and it will always serve you out.
But what is it people are trying to self-medicate? You're on the ground helping people get clean and sober. Why are we seeing such despair here?
You know, we've never been at a time where have more mental health issues, where chronic illness and obesity kind of rising. And a lot of it just comes down to a basic insecurity, feeling lack of confidence, lack of capability. And for that, people will reach to something to fill that void.
Beth, the poll also shows that only 25% of those who struggled with opioids got medication to treat their addiction. We have known for years that methadone and buprenorphine can help. Why are so few people getting medication that for years we know can help them get over it?
Yeah, we have data going back to the 1980s when it was invented, showing how efficacious buprenorphine is. In a word, it's stigma. There is still this idea that comes from nearly a century of AA that believes in abstinence only. And it's not every single meeting out there, but among the people I have followed, they have been stigmatized if they've been taking their medication-assisted treatment. They have been accused of being unclean, and people didn't want to sponsor them. Now, that is beginning to change, but I think stigma is at the heart of our inability to turn this back in terms of the treatment gap, in terms of we still are using the blunt cudgel of law enforcement, basically, to treat people with a treatable medical condition. That's what we use in this country. And we spend $15 billion a year on criminal justice to treat. That's the cost of it. $35 billion annually on healthcare and $92 billion on lost productivity.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.